Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video is very exciting because I found a dupe for the Beauty Blender and I'm really excited about it. Like, I've tried tons of different sponges, guys. I've tried sponges of all different prices. I mostly try to find more like inexpensive sponges because the Beauty Blender right here is a $20 sponge. It ranges actually. They could be $20 or up. $20 sponge. So mine is like about to bite the bullet. I've had it for quite a while. As you can see, it's completely faded and the color is horrific. So once I got my hands on the dupe for the Beauty Blender, I got really excited. So I wanted to make this video for you guys because if you're thinking of investing your money into the Beauty Blender, it is an awesome sponge. It lasts a really long time. But there are cheaper options if it's kind of out of your budget. So I'm going to go ahead and compare these two throughout this video, wet and dry, so you can see the difference. And I'll just tell you the similarities and the differences between the two so you can kind of get a better feel for which option is better for you. So if you want to see these two sponges compared to each other, the Beauty Blender and the Beauty Junkie sponge, then please keep watching. So the dupe that I have here for you guys is by Beauty Junkies. It came actually in a pack of sponges, so it came with 4 sponges all together, all different shapes and colors. So I was really, well, I was excited because they looked really cute, but like I've said, I've tried 100 sponges before. I squeezed the Beauty Junkie sponge right here when it was dry, and it kind of felt a little bit more dense than the Beauty Blender, as you can see. It's a little bit harder to squeeze this little guy, so the Beauty Blender when it's dry is just so squishy. So I was skeptical right then and there that it wasn't going to do much for me. So I decided to get it wet and test it out, and I literally sat there and squeezed it for 10 minutes straight. I got all of them wet. I got all of these sponges wet, and I just sat there and on my couch and just started squeezing them. I don't know why. It sounds really weird now that I'm like not doing it, but I just was so excited. I got them wet and I was squeezing them. I closed my eyes and I swear they felt just like the Beauty Blender. And I got the Beauty Blender wet and I got this little guy wet and I was just squeezing them, and I like switched hands while my eyes were closed and I couldn't even tell. If anything, the Beauty Junkies sponge is just a hair less squishy than the other, the Beauty the Beauty Blender, but not by much at all. So I was very impressed by that. Now, as you can see, both of them side by side while they are dry. The Beauty Junkie sponge is a little bit fatter. It has more of a pointed tip, which I actually prefer the pointed tip because you can get better into your inner tear duct area and you can do more fine detail work with it. And this sponge right here, the real Beauty Blender, is a little bit more narrow and has more of a rounded tip. So that is the difference between them while they're dry. Beauty Blender is quite more squishy than the Beauty Junkies one. The Beauty Junkies one is pretty darn thick, but I can still squeeze it. So I'm going to get them wet and let's see the magic. So these are the two sponges wet. And as you can see, they've both puffed up quite a bit. Now, a lot of other sponges that I've tried that are just cheaper options than the Beauty Blender did not puff up like this. Like, they did not, you know, get big like the Beauty Blender does. Like, I was really impressed. That's why when I got it wet, I like freaked out. I was like, what? What? There is still a bit of a shape difference. As you can see, the Beauty Blender is quite a bit larger, but the Beauty Junkie sponge is just as fat, it's just not as long, and it still has that pointed tip so you can still do fine detail work, which is really nice. Squeezing the two side by side, they feel almost identical. Like, this is the squishiest sponge I've ever used that's not a $20 sponge. Like, come on. So I will say, using both of these sponges with foundation, they do apply pretty much exactly the same way. If anything, I noticed the Beauty Junkie sponge absorbed just a little bit more of the foundation than the Beauty Blender, but I would say it's the closest match to the Beauty Blender I've ever found in my life. So I would purchase these. I was actually sent these sponges by Beauty Junkies, and they sent them to me to try, but there was never a contract. I'm not getting paid to talk about these sponges. I could have just not used them in this video. I just decided to make a dedicated video to these sponges because I've never seen anything as close to the Beauty Blender as these guys. So, like I said, it came with 3 other sponges, so I'm going to go through what they all are best used for. So I'm going to start off with this guy that looks just like the Beauty Blender. As you know, it's going to be great for foundation. It has this pointed tip right here, which is great for getting right underneath your eyes to blend out your under eye concealer. If you're traveling somewhere, this is the sponge to bring because it's a one and done deal. Next up, we have this little guy right here, which is my next favorite. I really love this one because it's so, like, you can do so many different things with it. So, as you can see, it looks kind of like a lemon, like a squished down lemon. So I do prefer this sponge right here for underneath my eyes rather than the original shape of the Beauty Blender, just because I feel like I have a little bit more control of where I get my concealer. I also love using it for my contour. it fits right in your jawbone. Like, it fits right there, so you're not disturbing the rest of your foundation anywhere. You're getting it right where you want to get it. Next up, we have this little guy right here, and this one's also great for applying foundation. So this one right here is kind of similar to the purpose of this shape. It has a really large surface space right here, so you can kind of get a better grip on it and push it into your skin, which is nice. I like this little indent right here. So you can really just push that product in there so it can stay and cover your face real nice. And next up is the most unique shaped sponge I've ever seen in my life. Like, look at this. Can you guys see this? Like, it's so unique. I love it because you can put your fingers right here. You can really get a good hold on the sponge, and you can really just buff that product in, push it in. I shouldn't say buff. Buffing is like buffing. We want to push the product in. But it has this kind of flat edge on both sides. This one's kind of angled, and this one comes straight down. So it's very uniquely shaped. You can apply your primer, your foundation. It just has a really large surface space to work with. So if you're kind of in a hurry and you use this guy, you can get more of a coverage with this in a faster amount of time because it's a bigger sponge. I also read that you can use it to apply your face lotion too, which I didn't know about. So you can apply your face products with that. I wouldn't recommend this for underneath the eyes though, because it would seem hard to control underneath your eyes. Yeah. Now, as you can tell, my two favorite ones are these little guys right here. I love this one because you can fit it right underneath your eyes. You can get your face with it. It's a one and done deal. You can do everything with it, and it looks like a beauty blender. And I also love this one because it's so unique. I love how I can fit it underneath my eyes, and I love the fact that I can contour with it because, I'll be honest, I was having a hard time contouring with the Beauty Blender shaped sponge, just because you can't really get that precise line of where you want your contour to be. So this is perfect for contouring. So yeah. Now the Beauty Blender retails for right around $20. Depending on where you buy it, it can be more or less, but never really budges past like $17. Now the Beauty Junkie sponges, all four of them retail all together for $14.97, which is a totally random number, might I add, but you get 4 sponges for $14.97, and I just think that's really cool. So hopefully this video helped those of you out who were thinking of purchasing the Beauty Blender. I do love the Beauty Blender. I recommend it to everybody. It's amazing, but if it does not fit your budget, the Beauty Junkie sponge set is like the next top dog in my opinion. I think that these are just like, look at that. And they're like jiggly. I can't. Okay. Let me know what you guys think if you tried them out before, if you agree with me that they're like one and the same. And yeah, that's all I have to say. So thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to my channel if you've not subscribed to it yet, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.